No, steady on.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. The Three Amigos ride again. Wherever there is injustice, wherever there is a little bald man fucking us about, we shall be here. I am on the nest, to use Christopher's parlance. My Wi-Fi broadband is limited, so there may be some boinking and breakdancing type stuff going on, but ignore that and listen to the mellifluous tones of our voices. Chris, we watched the Super Cup final, but nobody watches a game like you do. How was it?
I thought there were plenty of encouraging signs. I thought it was nice to see a manager with some tactical nous switch to the five at the back. I thought Danso is a good player. He puts a shift in for me. I thought Van der Ven and Romero looked good, and I thought Porro and Spence were good. And if they continue in that form, they'll pose people in problems this season. We won't talk about your mate Polinia, as he was obviously shit. He had a terrible game and didn't offer anything. But alongside Bentancur, I thought they were good. Then you had Kudos, who, again, he's a wanker, he's shit, rubbish signing. The stats prove that, H, so we won't go into anything about him. And then...
Go on, please go into it. Please go.
And then dare I say, even Richarlison, who I am not his biggest fan, looked a lot leaner and looked a lot more offensive and had things around him. We went 2-0 up and we were okay until we introduced Dominic Sowanke and Archie Gray and Mathis Tell. And that's why we won't kick on, because our first 11, they can hold their own. But it's when you introduce your second string, they're not good enough. And once PSG got the first, you always knew that it was like the second was likely to come. Then it went to penalties. I think there's probably more chance of us finding Madeline McCann than Vicario ever saving a penalty for Tottenham. So he has faced. He has
3 minutes in, and we're already into mega tasteless territory. Well done, Chris.
He's faced 15.
Listen, I mean, I've got a team of scriptwriters here, and they were struggling, but you've just come in like a thief in the night.
Vicario's faced 15 penalties in 2 years. Guess what? Not saved a single one. And so there were plenty of encouraging things to say. And it was good. But what I will say is there's a fine line between criticism and being an absolute cunt, and the fans that decided to have a go at Mathis Tell with the monkey emojis and all the unnecessaries on social media need to have a good look at themselves, because there's no place in football for that. Yes, you can be critical of people, and elite athletes put themselves in the shop window for people to critique. Your top-class golfers, your darts players, your tennis players, it happens to them all. But taking the mickey out of a 20-year-old kid still finding his way in life because of the colour of his skin, no place for it in the modern-day game.
Thank you, Dame Edna Everidge. No, I mean, I agree with you on the racist thing. Can I ask a question? I come in peace. I'm not a racist. I own a colour television myself. I mean, can I ask, was there a lot of it? I mean, I saw one account in particular on Instagram, which was just horrible. It was just wall-to-wall monkey emoticons and sort of smileys and that. Totally tasteless. Not. But was there a lot of it? Well, I didn't see anything on X. And I think Facebook these days drop litter and they just put you in prison.
I didn't see or hear anything at the time. I think as far as substitutions go, if we're being fair, it wasn't anything great on his part, giving away free kicks, losing the possession of the ball freely. And
he was horrible. I mean,
we need to back the kid. But the truth is that he's probably not good enough.
Well, I would go a little bit further. I would say for me, no to racism in any shape or form. You can make a joke about anything in my book, and that's the same book that Ricky Gervais uses, and other people too have got a sense of humour, so we don't all wander around looking like we're sucking on lemons. But I think there's two distinct issues here. One is attacking the guy personally, which has limited value for me, very limited, and certainly the race stuff doesn't stand up to any scrutiny. No, thank you. But as a footballer, I have to say, based on everything I've seen, and it isn't very much, but it's I would suggest enough, and I'm allowed to hold that opinion, he isn't very good at playing football. And also, if we also factor in, because we've got two ideas in our brain at the same time, and we all know Daniel Levy perhaps better than we know our own, some of us know our own relatives, did we really sell Harry Kane for 70 million quid? This deal stinks. It stinks like roadkill, like a dead badger. So this is why I have an additional ache with the kid. It's not his fault, but guess what? I don't care.
But the little Buddha's been quiet today. Tony, where are you?
I'm just enjoying the earnest commentary there from you guys. Absolutely spot on. For me, you mentioned about the fact that when the substitution, because I've in a full disclosure, I did not see the game because it was my wife's 60th birthday, and I want to live longer. So therefore, I decided that it wasn't worth me sort of like squeezing it into the evening. But if you're going to spend 40 million on Archie Gray and 35 million on Battistel, then they shouldn't be. They should not be second string players. They should not be people you bring on to try and do something. They should be making a notable contribution and elevating the team more, not being somebody you stick in because you want to give other people a rest. Now that to me is just where I'm sick of our transfer strategy. It seems to be, let's buy players that, and I've said it before, let's buy players nobody else wants, let's overpay for them, and then suddenly realise they can't actually do jack shit.
Yeah.
One of the deals with Daniel Levy, don't forget, is that he is permanently, he's incessantly looking to make a little bit out of everybody. And the point you made there, Tony, about a player coming on that we spent 40, 30 million quid on, they should be up to standard. They should be of the required grade. And I tell you something, I'm going to have a really short time of it this season. We were all impressed with the youth under Ange Postecoglou. We felt that he wasn't treating them particularly well. I don't think that's an unfair comment. But I don't want to hear, but do you remember when Gareth Bale was 12 years old? I'm looking at players I see before me now. I'm looking at their price tags, which you can say, well, it's not their fault, but it's somebody's bloody fault because we didn't arrange for them to splurge all this money. And these players should be able to come on at that price tag and do the business. And I think Daniel Levy's investments in anything that aren't like bricks and mortar stuck.
So what we haven't picked up on, H, you dropped out there. We had your delivery face, shall we say?
I think resting. I think you're referring to resting cunt face. I think that's what you're referring to.
So when you started this show, you only recounted half of our story last night. Yes, I mentioned the nest, but I also mentioned rattling her from behind and thinking of me. Did that come true?
It's very kind of you to mention that, and I'm grateful to be alone during this conversation. And I shall bear that in mind next time I have an opportunity to exploit with you venomously.
And you've never failed in the past, so why change?
So when she started, when we started shouting out, "Oh Christopher," that's when she said, "Fuck this," and left.
Another takeaway, which I'm not going to get too excited about.
I think you've had enough takeaways, mate. Judging, but sorry, carry on.
Hot calling kettle black.
No to racism, but fatism not a problem.
Yeah.
Yay!
But I appreciate it was only pre-season friendly, and I appreciate PSG had only been back a week. But I thought Papa Matsar, playing in the more advanced role, had a good 90 minutes. So I'm hoping that, unlike Ange, that Thomas Frank can actually bring some youngsters on and develop them instead of sending them backward. And I'm hoping that he's one that you could get a number out of.
I think
No,
for me,
go on.
even though I didn't see the game, one of the things I wanted to see from it, or certainly at least read about or hear about, and my daughter did watch the game, was that we were going to be more organised. We actually had a look of a team where the players knew what their roles were, and they looked like what they were doing, rather than this headless chicken football that we played under Ange. And I'm glad, the report suggests that, certainly for 75, 80 minutes, it was definitely that way round. Romero looked like he actually knew what defending really meant, as opposed to trying to kick everybody in the air. And they say the players, their assigned tasks, they actually carried them out really well. So for me, that's as big an encouragement. And a lot of people, I've had a couple of my mates who are, we always have a bit of a bad banter, but they were throwing the bottle emoji at me after the game, going, "Oh, you bottled it." I said, we just lost on penalties. Okay, admittedly, not in a whatever you call it, a Super Cup. It's not a real competition because it's just something made up by UEFA to give them tens of millions more money. But ultimately, still a cut. It's still a trophy. But we just went toe to toe with the champions of Europe. So and even with all that, and they still played a lot of their best players at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we went toe to toe with them. And one for one of a bit more experience and a bit more depth. If we'd have had a bit more depth, would we have won that? Potentially, we might have done, because
the quality off the bench. Quality off the bench, we do. There's a difference. PSG bought on Congalo Ramos, the Portuguese centre forward, who got the equaliser, and they brought on the South Korean Kwang, I think, who scored the first one. We bring on Mathis Tell, we've discussed. We bring on Archie Gray, not fit for purpose, and we bring on, who else did we bring on? Bergvall, who was very underwhelming. So it's about, and that's where we sit now. If we want to kick on, even Stevie Wonder could see that squad's light on quality, and it's about taking that extra step. And that's where we are as a club. It's another opportunity. Will it pass us by? Most probably it will. But if we had anything about us, and having seen that, you've got to back the manager. We've invested all that money in the back room. Now's the time to give it a go.
Well, yeah, I mean,
go on.
Go on, Nate. Crack on.
But surely we have plenty of players waiting to come back from injury. There's no need to panic, and we will soon have our Tottenham back.
Daniel, piss off. But I thought that Jed Spence, who was he up against? Desmond Doué on the wing. I didn't think
Doué had a bad game though. In fairness,
I think Spence was aggressive.
I'd like to know. Well, it's difficult to tell really, but it'd be interesting to find out along the season, because the reality answers most of our questions. But I'd like to see how much of that was Doué having an off day and Spence actually bossing it. Because I'm very hesitant to start hurling out, "Oh, he had him in his pocket" and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
But Spence acquitted himself well. And I have to say, I disagree a little bit here. I don't think that was a friendly game. I think it was a put-up job, in so much that there was 9 million quid split between the two sides. They got 4, we got 5. Sorry, they got 5, we got 4. And it was like a charity shield game, which you can look down your nose at, but it's actually a proper professional football match. And if you're playing somebody of their caliber, and they, as we've kind of alluded to, they made changes and they brought on some better players. And I also thought the heat factor. I thought that our boys looked shattered in particular. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. What I do predict is by the end of the season, I don't think Vicario will be the number one. I think Kinski will get a chance and will probably prosper, because he still looks uncomfortable playing out from the back. And he was nowhere near any of those penalties. He's a good, reasonable shot stopper, but the rest of his game doesn't make him a rounded great goalkeeper.
What
We've
I
had
would
loads
say,
in the transfer window. There has been loads of goalkeepers available that
Well,
are
doing the rumours of better who PSG let go, and that Chevalier that they replaced, he didn't look anything. He should have been saved in that first one.
I think with Vicario, I'm going to do one of my solo videos, as I can't get anybody from Australia to talk to me this week after this, and I'm going to make the
boyfriend's kicked you into touch, as you're left with us two mongrels.
I mean, you've got you two Muppets. Manor Solomon isn't returning my WhatsApp messages anymore. I think there's something gone wrong there.
Where?
Hey, but Marie Cullen's speaking to me. Whoa.
Ooh, yeah, little Miss WhatsApp boy. It must be great. How many years have you been sending them unsolicited mail, and that was something that didn't come via a solicitor in return?
If you send them, they've got to read them.
No, I'm going to make the case, or make the punt, the suggestion that I think by Christmas, Vicario, because I think it's going to take that bloody long. I don't think Vicario be our number one choice anymore. I thought he stank the place out from the day he started. And the trouble is, and I've said this a number of times because it fits the narrative perfectly, you've got Spurs play, those monkeys, Mr. Cabbage there saying, oh, you're already a bit of a legend. No, you're not. You come across as a YTS. This entire gig comes across as if it's above your pay grade. I don't think he's up to it. I don't think he's up to it at all.
If you want to talk about legends, let's bring out Pat Jennings, Ray Clements, maybe Tony Parks for that infamous night in Europe. Let's talk about genuine good legends and servants of the clubs, not some wishy-washy, wanky Italian who's been at the club 5 minutes, is afraid of crosses and can't kick a football. That's how we know that football's stagnated and we accept mediocrity as opposed to recognising greatness.
My God, isn't Lloris looking an absolute fucking superstar right now?
Look, who's that, Lloris?
It's a surrender monkey with crisp packet hands.
Just one at that. He likes to crash
and still 10 orders of magnitude better than the current crap.
Yeah, but Vicario is I don't think it's intentional. I just think he isn't wired right. I think he's a con man.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at those penalties, and please, whoever it is, voices I've got in my head, don't give me this. Oh yeah, penalties are a lottery. They're not. If you're a good goalkeeper, you read the body language, you do your homework. You have your water bottle with your cheeks on.
He closed his eyes and just threw himself any direction other than where the ball was going. It was absolutely pathetic.
I don't know if you remember Paul Robinson's final games, England's #1, but we went through this phase of him unfortunately getting stuck with a few penalties. I can't remember the games because we didn't win. And he went into this barrel roll nonsense. And Vicario looks like he was trained at the same circus.
Completely agree.
But is Kinski going to be, you can argue, is Kinski the right man to replace a £12.5 million junior, basically?
Yeah, but he's not had a run of games to prove or disprove himself, has he? He's very comfortable with his feet. We've brought in a new goalkeeping coach who used to be at Liverpool. We've got this whole new training background. Frank's about improving young players. I would rather see him with his ability to ping it out from the back. And he's quite vocal from what I've seen. He controls his penalty area. What's the harm with giving him 10, 15 games before we execute him?
I think what I'd rather do there, Chris, is I'd rather have him as the backup to somebody who's actually decent, just to give him some more confidence. Because when he got chucked in at the deep end, he had that one good game against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup at home, but after that he got pretty much roasted. And not a lot of it was his fault because he was having to make decisions based on such an abjectly shitty defence. And he was having to think quickly. He just wasn't given the time to think quickly because he wasn't allowed to acclimatise. And I think he could probably do with a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of acclimatisation to the speed of the league and what have you, with somebody who's actually behind somebody who is actually understands the league, knows what how quickly you've got to adapt. Again, for me, it would have been a no-brainer. Someone like Aaron Ramsdale, get him on free.
I'd have taken Ramsdale every day of the week.
Aaron Ramsdale. He looks like a fucking key ring.
And still would have saved more penalties than the vicar. A man not only afraid of crosses, but he's also afraid of penalties.
Do you know what it says?
Not to mention his grass allergy.
What the strange question that I can take away from the other night is, what is Odebear and what is Johnson thinking if Mathis Tell was continually being brought on in place of them? So Johnson,
I think Mathis Tell is a product placement. You know, do you know like when the old Superman film and the Marlboro truck or the Coca-Cola advertising hoarding was in the background? That's what we're getting with Tell. That's why he was given another penalty, because you recall he was plucked from the audience to take a penalty last time around. We had a penalty against someone.
That's quite clever product placement that you're sitting in front of at the moment, H. Did I see Rohypnol on the wall behind you?
No, that's all gone. That was that was used up last night.
Okay, how is the dungeon? Has the poor girl escaped?
Well, I'm actually in here now. She's out cold on the floor, and it looks like a window, but it's the flap that we put the food through.
All right, she's etching her name in the wall.
Chris, before a broken fingernail.
Yeah.
Chris, what you don't realise, before we started recording, he told me what her name was, Maria Fritzl. So,
all right, okay. I think I've heard of her dad, or is that?
You'll never see her.
Gone as she was.
But I think if you got he's off. The El Senior moment cracking on lasting for the rest of the recording. Every now and again he'll come up with that again.
Provide a sparkling water, so let him be.
Sparkling water. What a nonce. Good grief.
Did you call? Sorry, Tony, you were telling us something boring, but do carry on.
No, fuck you. I'm not interested now. You keep fucking interrupting.
So you were saying about
babble of yours.
Yeah, you were saying about Mathis. We were talking about Tell. We were talking about Johnson. Odebear.
Yeah, I mean the trouble is, I mean, it speaks volumes. I mean, Brennan Johnson. This is the guy that certain sectors of the fan base will tell you who won us the position where we could call ourselves champions of Europe, which we're bloody well not.
We lost to the rightful champions of Europe on
correct.
Wednesday. Yeah,
on the night of the Super Cup final. That's correct. Yes, but I mean, this is what we're up against. And this is where unfortunately the veils start to fall away. None of these people are good enough. Johnson isn't good enough. Odebear, I have no idea how we ended up with him. And he looks to me like a championship rube. And don't tell me, I know there'll be people watching this going, who are you going to quote? Who are you going to quote? Ghostbusters.
I can tell you exactly how. I can tell you exactly how we ended up with the likes of Odebear and Tell. It's called Postecoglou and Lang.
Yeah.
End of story. That is all you need to know. Once you have those two factors in there, it's like nitro and glycerin, except there's no bang.
That's some analogy. That is. It's not
there you go, mate.
But there's no bang.
There you go, mate.
It's like water. It's just like water, but you can't get wet.
You're just jealous because you didn't think of it first, you twat.
Yeah, you're right, you prick.
But no end result. Basically, no end result though. What is the point of of somebody like Tell and Odebear? There's nothing there to say there's going to be anything that resembling an end result for the investment.
What I was talking about earlier, Richarlison, who we all know what I feel about him, looked sharp and closed people down and put himself around the other night. But when you've got Richarlison and Dominic so wanky at the club, you've got no genuine centre forwards. And how are you going to compete in the Premier League and on the highest stage in Champions League? It's criminal that we haven't been out there and bought a genuine 20, 30 goal potential season centre forward who can rattle people.
I thought it was quite telling because this is how I react to the world. But I thought it was quite telling after the yards of absolute shite we've heard about Richarlison from all of these numpties telling us about his this, his that, his the other. And we all know he's never scored, what was it, more than 12 or 15 goals prior to coming to Tottenham.
Yeah.
But he's very busy. He's very busy. Look, that game against PSG, he was busy. And I think these people have got so wrapped up in their own lies and their own disinformation that they don't understand that he actually had a decent game. Now, whether it stands for anything, I mean, he's no longer a spring chicken. He's not, but if we could squeeze something out of him in the twilight seasons of his time at Spurs, that would be tremendous.
You say that like he's doing us a favour. You're forgetting we paid 65 million quid for him. One might expect a return on that investment.
Well, yeah, and look at Solanke. Solanke's another return on investment. I mean, we're still waiting to define who this guy is. What have we had? A couple of penalties out of him. It just isn't good enough. It just isn't good enough. And I'm not interested in the injury thing either. Keep yourself fit, do your job. It's like saying you're the world's best plumber, but every time I phone you, you can't come out and fix my washing machine because you've got a cold.
One season wonder, that's what he is. He's a season wonder.
Well, he's Bournemouth's greatest export. That's his current title.
And then we find ourselves in the position of your bum thumb boy still there, Manor Solomon. He's still draining a salary from the club. Then we got the ultimate bozo, Bissouma, and he's been ticked off by...
Bissouma's finished, isn't he?
Well, Bissouma, he's been hauled over the coals by Conte, hauled over the coals by Mourinho. Then there was the laughing gas issue, which everybody was laughing at. Then there was the red card against, was it Luton? And then... Yep. He's just a liability. He's a professional footballer. He's afforded a lifestyle that many had.
I'd strongly dispute that particular description of Bissouma.
No, but he's earning, 80, 90 grand. He's living everybody's dream. But the two brain cells he has got are obviously defected because he is incapable of making sensible decisions. But then you've got these absolute wankers on social media saying, the attempt destroy his reputation. No, wake up and see what a cunt this bloke's been. The sooner
Chris, he's doing a great job of that all on his own, mate. He's doing.
Are we allowed to put people back on the boats and send them back over the channel? He would be the first one on that boat if I had my opportunity.
There's no room for that sort of talk on this channel because
you can't. Hang on a minute. You were despising racism in its multiple forms a minute ago, and now you stood there with a bed sheet with some crudely made eye holes.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I'm just suggesting.
The true colours, true colours. They come out eventually.
Chris, there's a little bit of. I'm not sure if your camera needs cleaning, or is there smoke coming in through the window because of the burning cross on your front lawn?
It's just my hatred for Bissouma.
So speaking of people with funny coloured skin, I understand that Sahina's agent has flown in from Brazil.
Savinho,
yeah.
Savinho.
Don't you think that's strange that his agent remained in Brazil while there was the suggestions that transfers were underway? Wouldn't his agent have been over beforehand to agree personal terms and get a feel for whether this was like to have any legs on it?
I think this is a man going on his August holidays to Europe. Personally, why would you need to be in the same room to get any of this done? This is nonsense these days. I'm not sure about this. He came from Girona, which are a Manchester City group club. So they paid or loaned him for 20 odd million, and now we're looking to pay 2.5 times or more for that.
May I present the case for the prosecution, as in to not buy him? Absolutely. So right, point A, fuck off. Point B, please fuck off. Point C, absolutely fuck off.
And when you finish reviewing my points, shove it up your ass and kindly fuck off.
Yeah. Out of here.
No, I mean,
No way. Never in a million
I-
years should we be buying that clown.
I would respectfully remind the right honourable gentleman we're now fully aware of his views. But no, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand why we need another winger, because that's what he is.
Because
I just
we haven't got a quality winger at the club, and for the style that Thomas Frank wants to play, it's going to be dependent on people pressing. And we saw the quality, undoubtedly. I'm sorry to say, H, wipe your eyes, but Kudos was a level above anything we had on that midfield the other night. If we could replicate that, so we got it on both sides, all of a sudden we have something different about us, and we've got front three where you can get goals from either side and hopefully centrally. At the moment, Odebear, young prospect, shit. Mathis Tell, shitter than shit. Richarlison doesn't play well on the left, or Manor Solomon, soon to be departing this parish. Where's your quality on the left?
You get certain players who, in their careers, they flatter to deceive, but play really well for their countries somehow, because they seem to get selected for their countries. Sorry. Some nasty old coffee you got there, mate. But for me, Mathis Tell is one of those players who Bayern couldn't wait to get rid of him, and that's always a warning sign when your parent club is absolutely falling over themselves to get rid of him.
Hang on. They couldn't wait to get rid of him because it meant they got a 30 million discount on Harry Kane, and I'm surprised more people haven't put this 1 and 1 together and said it equals 2. This is, if I'm going to be crude, the Black Fraser Campbell.
Yeah. I
tell you what.
I think there could be something wrong with that description. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah. I was about to say the same, but I didn't want to be tired of racist.
Yeah. Is there a second cross on your lawn now, Chris?
He's got a very angry lawn.
There's some bloke in the back. There's some bloke in the background, and he keeps on telling me he's a wizard. I don't know what that's all about.
the grand cheeseburger himself.
Yeah.
So if we don't want Sahinio or whatever his name is, are we going to get Eze? We supposedly, according to Paul O'Keefe, have gone in with an official bid. I mean, this isn't reflecting on O'Keefe. It's more reflecting on the sanity of the people at the club. And I have to say, Chris, I've given you, I wouldn't say given you a rough ride, but I've kind of ignored your remarks to sort of impeach Johan Lang. But my God, he has got to be a massive, massive waste of space. And surely can't be long on this earth.
I keep on telling you, why do we persevere with a bloke who's clearly drowning? He's out of his depth. You look at some of the propositions that he's put forward to Thomas Frank this season; they're all crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I take the proposition sort of thing with a pinch of salt, because you've got all these bloody journalists who. Oh, there's a gate opening. Sorry, I think the Holy Ghost just left my body there. But no, you all these propositions, but he's not getting any business done. And then we were told, I can't remember who it was. It was Ben Jacobs or some nickname, saying that he was now that Vinay. I can't remember his second name. It sounds like the screener's job.
Vinay Tikka Masala. Let's just call him that.
Vinay Lambuda was going to take over the thing and your duties for offloading players. I mean, we've got rid of 9 academy players. It seems we're just sort of getting the wage bill down, and it's all very appeasing actions towards Daniel Levy.
Returning to Solomon and Basuma, the reports coming out of the club are that they've been misbehaving. They've not been adhering to the codes of practice for the club, but they've been late. They've been generally bad apples. So
hang on. This is turning into an IDF hate march. What evidence do we have against? And I have to say, he's got very lovely, very gentle touch and loving arms.
We know, Chris. We know why Manor Solomon's late because because age is kicking him out the door about 5 minutes before he's due at the training ground, 2 hours away.
Yeah, but
I think Manor Solomon's probably had quite enough. Thank you very much. Of the oh dear. That's something. It's too early, Chris. And if it was late, it'd be too. Oh my God.
God, it's Superman's jizz, isn't it? A Superman's jizz in a bottle.
It's Superman's special sauce. That is
sauce.
Looks like Uncle Harry's.
Lex Luthor's love spittle. No, so I mean, the thing is,
my point was,
I think Manor Solomon's had enough of Spurs, and I think he just wants his career sorted out. He's not been late. If he's been injured, then he's been injured. But he's played very well for Leeds. I can't understand why we don't just sell him to Leeds.
Perhaps they don't want him. Perhaps they've realised they can get better. They're supposed to be talking to the Swiss from AC Milan. But the point, just hear me out. Hear me out.
Join the Labour Party.
Uncle Nigel would be upset if I made that transition.
Free the dead children in Gaza. That's what I say. Free plasticine.
Chris B was the first signee to the new Jeremy Corbyn party because they do love their Jewish people. This does Jeremy.
You guys are taking this in the direction that you guys are taking this direction it isn't intended to go, and we're
only basing on everything you've said and done this morning.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
and you hate Jews.
I never said that. What I'm saying is,
racist. You're a racist.
You should be
He said that.
You should be deregistering these guys, not giving them a Premiership registration. They should be training with the kids, and then Basuma can send every wanky photo he wants of an empty gymnasium while all of his teammates are off preparing.
Oh, that was so pity me, wasn't it? Pity me. But I tell you something. I think I said this last time around, but it remains true. I think this business of deregistering these players who are a problem, of which I don't include Manor Solomon because I don't just look at a man's political views and make ridiculous comments based upon them.
Neither do we.
Or his sexual persuasion, by the way, Christopher. I mean, let's have it right here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have Tony on the show for a start, would we? But I mean, the deal is that I think the idea of stripping them, because this business of throw them in the reserves sounds wonderful 20, 30 years ago. And even then, it was out.
Well, but it is. Look at what Manchester United have done. Look at the summer they've done in respect of the dead wood is still dead and it's not going to feature in the first team. And Amarin doesn't want them anywhere near the first team squad. You are the coach stroke manager. You set the precedent for the club. If you don't want those players around the first team or the first squad, then you just ostracize them and send them to wherever.
Well, Donnarumma was a good example. PSG didn't send him to the Super Cup final, and I read a report which I can't remember what it was, and they just said it was brutal. But at least there's no more iffing and ahhing about it.
Yeah,
he knows where he stands in the departure lounge,
and that's what we need to do. We need to manage the outgoings to reduce the wage bill and bring in what revenue we can, so we can improve with better players instead of signing substandard all over again.
We have no problem getting rid of all the youth prospects to other clubs.
But they're all coming back, aren't they? They're all coming back. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, Chris, is that we're more than
Boomerang don't come back.
Yeah, we're more than happy to offload them very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So, they say it's for development, but Alfie Divide, etc. I'm never going to play for the first team. Never going to play for the first team. So let's rid ourselves of that notion. So, but we're happy to do that, but we're not happy to get rid of, as you say, those people. You just don't like it when I'm actually making a decent point for a change, where they're sitting in there. And
you like to talk over us constantly and just belittle us.
Exactly. Like they said, like the commentary last week.
Okay, Glam Wizard.
You shut up, H. You shut up, H.
Yeah. But what makes it even more funny is that the second longest serving player at our club Brian Gill.
Now, here's a testament to our devotion to youth and tolerance. I mean, he's an absolute waste of flesh. And those are good parts.
And we sacrificed one of my favourites of all time who retired yesterday, the shithousery of Eric Lamela. And when it was tough reasons, I'd have rather him in the squad and in the team, niggling people with the occasional touch of excellence and flair.
Mate, if you're going to chuck the word legend around, which I hope we certainly will never do, and I would never certainly include Lamela in that, but he will forever be in our hearts for the Rabona.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's put it that way. Gil has the only thing he's ever going to be in our hearts for is the hate and spite that we carry for him. So let's just.
I liked Lamela, and if I was going into a tear up, I'd want him alongside me because he was
100%.
He wore his heart.
Hang on, you want to go into a tear up with a bloke who was out of professional sport for a year because his dog died?
Mate, don't touch on that.
Oh,
it didn't occur to me. I said that. That was a fucking mistake. I apologise.
Yeah, but no, you come. You're right old.
Just for the benefit of everybody, I had my dog put to sleep on Thursday, as H knows.
Yeah, because H that bastion of sensitivity.
Yeah. Who needs Samaritans when you've got a friend called H?
Oh God! I'm not going to say sorry because people like me shouldn't be allowed to use the word. No, but
look at that, Chris. I think we broke him. Chris.
Yeah, well, he tries to break us by steering us down these paths, trying to portray us as all sorts. Well,
you're the one.
You just right there. There it is, people.
The only news is a good news. Didn't Lamela, wasn't he out for another season where he had his hips replaced or something, which you can get done on the NHS and it has a recovery time of 6 weeks?
I don't know the intimate details of his medical history.
Oh, I don't know. He did a Rabona once.
And you went to Turkey, the point, I don't repeatedly tell the world about that.
Yeah, the point being, H, that Rabona, in one Rabona, he's done more in his entire career for Spurs than Brian Gill has ever done. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he'd done more than Manor Solomon, but I see you didn't take it down the anti-IDF route there.
Honestly, your Briz obsession is just going a bit too far, mate. It's just going a bit too far.
So do you think realistically that we're going to buy anybody of use, and by that I mean Eze, this window, or are we not?
I would be delighted. I would be delighted if both came through the club, through the door, because I think they increase our quality. The thing is that the Savinio deal broke last Sunday, and then Eze, I don't know, Tuesday to Wednesday this week. We take so long to get deals over the line. We know the player, know what they're talking about. There was suggestion that we'd been in with like a £55 million bid, but they were saying, no, we want 67. Well, if you do that, you know what the answer's going to be from the outset.
Well, let's face it. Can please someone explain to me why, when he had a release clause of 68 million, I think it was, and we weren't interested, but all of a sudden there's no release clause, and we now think, oh, I know. Well, we'll do a right old bit of shit house, bit of levy shit housery, put in a low ball, hoping we'll get him. The club have already said he had a release clause of 68 million. That's what we're gonna. If that's what you want to, if you want to get him, that's what it's going to take.
Well, what I don't understand
when the fucking release clause was there.
Okay, we all understand the release clause, but what I'm questioning here is this is like a roll of sellotape that's been under the ocean for 20 years. What is the point of a release clause that expires 2 or 3 weeks before the close of a transfer window?
Well, I think the release clause for Eze finishes today, doesn't it? But
why would you have that? Doesn't make any sense. Surely it would make more sense to have no release clause, and then with a fortnight to go, say if you still haven't bought him, he's going to cost you 68 million.
Do you know what? I've got bored of release clauses. It's been on all of our lips most of the summer. Can't we just go out like the old days, sign some footballers, and the first we hear of it's when they're stood in front of the club with a shirt in front of them?
Well, what I'm saying, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any practical sense, does it? It's like saying I'm going to the shops because they put Christmas cake on half price because it's the last week of December. Why would you do that? That's when people go out to buy Christmas cake, isn't it?
The point here, let's actually make the real point here. The real point is other clubs just meet the fucking release clause without pissing around, sign the player and get on with it. We just faff around and do all this low balling and all this bollocks. And is he coming? Is he not coming? And all that sort of nonsense. Then we low ball, and then we end up with nothing. But then we get the standards. We tried. We were really after. We were really interested, bollocks. So we get every transfer window.
I've just had a text while we're talking from somebody I admire and who is quite sensible and knowledgeable, and he tells me that the Eze deal's practically complete. But make of that what you want.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, I get things wrong all the time. Wasn't it you, Chris, that told me last year that Eze was a done deal?
Well, some bloke at Woburn Golf Course had told me that. He was obviously a massive liar, wasn't he?
And did you say,
hold on.
Father Christmas was definitely bringing me a bike?
Excuse me. No, Morgan Gibbs White.
Well, I read it on this reputable website called theboyhotspur.com.
Oh, nobody reads that anymore. The traffic's gone through the floor. I mean, the only reason I'm here is because I'm doing a bit of painting and decorating.
The painters and decorators are in, did you say?
No, I said quite clearly. Sorry, you clearly didn't hear me when I spoke clearly. I said quite clearly, I'm here doing a bit of painting and decorating to subsidise my income.
Okay. What does it earn you being a male gigolo in this day and age? Who needs to use gigolo when you can have Harry Hotspur?
No, sorry, you've gone again, caller.
It's convenient when this time's out, isn't it? It's always when you backed into a corner and he's on the desk and it's about to collapse.
Into a corner, you speech impediment riddled oaf.
Yeah, Chris, just in line with your T-shirt, mate. He's lost that loving feeling, hasn't he, mate? That's what it is.
What you mean that?
There we go. Did you get
that? Did you get that for looking really sexy whilst playing the piano in the bar where that was shot? I
was there earlier this year, wasn't I? I actually achieved a lifetime goal of sitting at the bar and having a beer where Tom sat all those years ago.
I thought it was a rather odd photo because your knees were unusually high on that picture, and I thought, is he in a ski lift? No, he's wearing Cuban heels, one would normally see on a transsexual.
It's because I'm a behemoth of a man, and like Tom Cruise, who's a midget.
Yeah, but I don't think Tom Cruise goes in for the same heels.
If Tom's watching this, you're consistent with the average size male. I don't want any litigation to come my way.
On one journey, he went from. On one journey, he went from Top Gun to Brokeback Mountain.
Dear.
We've managed to stay clear of H's favourite film, The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas.
See, Tony, this is what we're up against. The Jeremy Corbyn of the Hotspur 1882 lounge.
Yeah. Holy crap! He's Lord. He's Lord. His lawn must be practically a light by now.
Your house is well known in your area for being a fucking fire hazard.
Conceals the dodgy patio I've got.
No, mate. We're way beyond that now. We're way beyond that. You were talking about sending Basuma back on a boat.
Yeah.
Well, he arrived from France. I thought he might want to go back there, being a French national and all.
H,
Back to
believe
the
there's
coast, back to the coast where you purchased your Oakley sunglasses and Folex wristwatch.
Oakley ones,
I
yeah.
think-
Still won't let the bastards live that down. Don't drink 10 pints of lager.
I think H. I did hear they're doing a sequel to Mississippi Burning called Bedfordshire Burning.
And you
Oh,
two,
the working title is Heads on Fire.
You two are due to Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it's called Chris and Chrisera.
Says the man drinking jizz from steroid bunches.
Oh God! Honestly, they should show footage of him drinking that in Guantanamo Bay. Everybody had signed the confession the next minute.
So the football season kicks off tomorrow. We're at home. We've got the mighty Burnley. Are we going to rock the Casbah, or is it going to be an underwhelming, under-deflated experience?
I think we're going to be, honestly, looking at the way that we finished last season with essentially the same players, and in fact weakened with the one or three that are still out. I think we're going to be a team that people will fancy having a go at. So I think that Thomas Frank has been, if you like, dropped rather in the deep end, and we'll have to see what he's made of. I have to say, I was kind of empowered, or whatever the right word is. I was enthusiastic by our performance against PSG because the Bayern game was bloody awful. No two ways about it. But the PSG game gave me a little bit of hope. I mean, it was only that the workman was let down by his tools in that particular instance. That's I felt was the strength of it. He had to take players off because they were shattered. But unfortunately, when he brought them on, they didn't add up to the sum of their alleged parts. But I mean, we need to get players back out of the physio room. And we desperately, I think, for the general sort of esprit de corps, the mood in the camp, need to get a decent signing over the line. So we can hopefully do a little bit better than we did last time. If we don't do anything, there's a really distinct possibility we could be revisiting some of last term's inadequacies.
Yeah, I think that we're going to be hard to beat this season. I think we're going to change our formation dependent on the opposition, and I don't think we'll be anywhere near 17th. So I am.
Chris, there's a word for it. There's a word for it. Oh, what is that word? Oh, yeah. Coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching. That's it. That's the word. That was the word.
We haven't got the big fat Australian at the helm, so we are going to avoid the iceberg and we're going to navigate round it. And we might discover.
Did you see him eat? Chris? Did you see him eating overcooked beef on that video that was around?
Yeah, I did. And I liking to think of myself as a connoisseur of steak. Yeah, I've had that.
Connoisseur, Tony. Did you hear that? A connoisseur.
A connoisseur. He washed that down with a pint of Rioja.
More bread.
No, Malbec in memory of old our Argentinians' finest.
Yeah, get me more breadsticks, you fucking Wally.
Chateau Goose Green slag. The fine dining club must be really pleased to see you come through the door.
I was about to make a joke about Stephen Yaxley Lennon, but based on the last 54 minutes, I thought that's the last thing I want to do, isn't it?
Possibly an area you might wish to avoid.
Yeah, I think he might actually think we're even more racist than he is.
Well, I would like to think comical. I don't think the racism word needs to feature.
Well, comical racist. There's nothing wrong with it's comical racist.
Chris has desperately tried to attach something to his previous remarks that won't have him being interviewed by the Metropolitan Police.
Yeah.
What? Knock. Sorry, Mr. Beresford. I understand.
This is a very nice home. I'm sure you'll miss it.
Yeah. And H will get we'll get an email from StreamYard in a little while saying, right, you do realise this particular broadcast is going to have to go through age verification processes.
Well,
Yeah, Chris will be receiving emails from Lionel Hutt's attorney at law.
Oh, brilliant!
You look really, really comfortable there, mate.
Yeah, it's hot down south. That's all I'm prepared to say.
It's all that steroid jizz out of his fucking brain, isn't it? That's what it's done.
Yeah, it's turned him into a massive Nazi apologist.
I wouldn't say that.
Pile it on, H. Pile it on. Keep going, mate. Keep going, mate. Full steam ahead.
Look, I've told you not to do the salute again. It's not nice.
No, it's part of my yoga. It's part of my yoga. See, look. There you go.
Okay. All right.
Right. Coming up to the hour mark, and I hope you're all enjoying.
It's over there. It's over there. It's over there.
4 more beers.
Honestly,
More
Chris,
bread,
you dragged the
table
level of this
8.
broadcast. You dragged the level of this broadcast down, mate. Honestly, it's disgusting, terrible.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the lack of professionalism.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. You know, I mean, that was our apology, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody has been offended, at least you know where we are. So, I mean, Daniel Levy is. I mean, he's going to be hung by these words, isn't he? That he said he was going to win well, he said he wanted to win the Premier League, wanted to win the Champions League. But I mean, the reality is, does anybody feel as if he's positioned himself to do either at this stage? Because
Absolutely
I have
not.
to say, I mean, kudos. I have to say, I think if I was going to be really poncy, which I am, I would say that I find him a little agricultural so far. But that said, do we need a bit of that? Almost certainly, yes, we do. So I'm not against him at all, but I just want to see him sustain at that and bring more of that to the team and give us that beef. My fear is that he could be maybe, I don't know, get himself sent off or something silly like that. But I'd rather have a player that was sort of sailing close to the wind than just not bothering like Brennan Johnson. I mean, I read that him saying that he needed to improve. He felt he needed to improve his one-on-ones against players. And I thought, well, you've got a great canvas to work with there because it's currently blank.
Well, I think we file that under the phrase "no shit, Sherlock."
Yeah,
you know, that's something we were saying all year, basically, from last year, throughout the entire season. Was, you know, with Chris, when we were just saying the guy has the innate ability not to beat his man, and that's what a winger's supposed to do.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Think about Aaron Lennon in his prime. Dropped his shoulder, used to fly past people, dragged it back. That's what we want. Somebody can go on the inside, somebody can go on the outside. Or think about that performance from Gareth Bale against Inter Milan when Maicon had to get a taxi.
Taxi
for Maicon. Absolutely. God almighty.
So good news. It's just broke that Bissouma's in the squad tomorrow.
Of course he is. Of course he is. He's sat on the naughty for 24 hours.
Mana is just back from a part injury. He has recently joined the first team squad for rehabilitation. And on Richarlison, I think Richie was phenomenal. His hold-up play, his pressing, his intensity, his arrivals in the box, his attitude was top. We'll do our best to help him. He is very focused.
I think
spiritualists would do well to help him.
Yeah. I think Mana's returning from a bumhole injury, isn't he? And that's caused by our erstwhile Mr. H there with his lack of lube.
When I love from the heart.
It wasn't from the heart, mate. That's for absolutely bloody sure.
Yeah,
spontaneously and like a sewing machine.
Spontaneously combustible.
Similar to the drink I'm drinking at the moment. Plenty of it.
Yeah. Oh well,
my lower intestine is hiding beneath my upper intestine with the coming out with that drink stuff. It's really not very pleasant. What's actually in that, Chris?
That's a little protein number that helps me to be the man I am today.
So it's Taiwanese bull's testicles, is it?
Well, that creates a sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah. Some varieties of jizz from East Asia.
We've hit the hour mark, and we've now descended into semen jokes.
It's like a bukkake party in my mouth. That's all I can suggest it is.
You see what he's doing there?
And they just got into nautical territory with his semen jokes.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's doing there? Don't you? He's now doing this. I'm on this fluid, and it's affecting my mind. I didn't know what I was saying. Sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence why you belittled the death of your loved one.
I think we're
no. That was honestly. I would never, ever go down that route, and that's why I was shamed. The shame I felt.
As soon as you said it, you knew you.
Yeah, no, it was a complete and utter. Oh no! And I'm so sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. And Tony, I can't believe you provoked me into doing that. Really?
Yeah, I can't believe I provoked you either because I fucking didn't get to it.
Oh my god, he's had about a pint of that stuff.
Yeah.
I can tell you what's going on now, mate, and you're both now indulging in it, and I am, of course, crystal clear. My conscience is clear on all of this today. You lot are just now going into the temporary insanity defence, aren't you?
the insanity clause. There's no insanity
clause.
Exactly.
Well, H is looking for a few days in strange ways. He likes to get away. He likes to holiday in exotic locations.
Yeah, there's plenty of man-on-man action. Man-on-man action.
Well, Holloway, Tony, unfortunately for you, is a woman's prison. But thanks for joining us late in this show.
well, considering that Chris said strange ways, I don't think that really hangs up.
He said Holloway, didn't he?
No, he did. He said strange ways.
Chris has lost the power of speech due to his
he's now going for the harder hearing defence as well as the insanity.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's deaf, Your Honour. And all that night I was on her and off her. So I think we're more or less at the end of this farce of a show. And we look forward to hearing from the legal teams of just about everybody west of the Great Wall of China. So we played.
I told you we shouldn't mention Fred West in this episode, but you had to let yourself down right in the last 1 hour and 2 minutes.
We played Burnley on Saturday afternoon at 3:00, which I think might pose a bit of a trouble for me because I'm away from home and I won't be able to look at my Polish neighbour. Sorry?
You haven't taken that stick in your backpack with you, as you can plug it into any USB,
No, there were dogs. There are dogs here in the farm I'm on, and they have their own sticks. But I was just saying I won't be able to look through my neighbour's window because he's a Polish gentleman with a Polish satellite system and watch his probably legit but Polish feed, which I'm occasionally able to see from my bedroom window.
Are you still doing that with the binoculars, or have the police caught up with you?
No, it's well, that's what they told the cops anyway. Yes, no, it's still using the telescope for the purposes that I've still got the receipt for. Thanks very much.
Yeah, he's gone away for the weekend just to relay the patio.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't know anything they was doing, or he was doing something for Rose the other day, she didn't mind, just put it over there. Right. I've got to go and help the police with their inquiries. No hand signals, please. We're all friends after the war. That's it for now. Good luck. Keep it.